Mistakes are common. You can't avoid making mistakes, so let's turn mistakes into learning opportunities. I want to talk about common mistakes and see what we can do to learn from them and help you avoid them. So I want to talk about tuning mistakes. The most common mistake people make when they tune a harmonica is they use a chromatic tuner to try to tell them how to tune every single note, and it just doesn't work that way. The chromatic tuner and your mouth and your vocal tract is not accurate enough, and I'll show you why. Here's the 3 draw on this particular harmonica. I'm going to play it with what I think is normal breath. Comes out a bit flat. I'm going to play it with hard breath. You see it's very flat. And I'm going to play it with light breath. So there's a really wide variance. There's no way you can tune anything to precision using the needle. I have 2 ideas, 2 solutions for this. One, this kind of tuner, the Korg CA1, has the ability to play the sound. It plays the pitch at whatever reference you want it to be. So that was the 3 draw. It's an E, and as a third I want it to be a little flat. So I played with fairly light breath, and I found that I had to increase my breath force until it sounded where I wanted it to sound. So that means it's sharp. I need to flatten it down to the correct pitch. So I'm using my ears. I'm not using the needle. They're using your eyes to tune. Some people say get a chromatic tuner and that'll help you learn how to bend, because you'll play the note bent and you just aim with your eyes. I think you should use this tuner, play the note, the pitch that you want, and then use your ears to autocorrect, because first of all that'll be a lot more accurate. Second of all, when you're on stage you don't have a tuner, you have to rely on your ears. So why, cut out the middleman, use your ears. So that's one way to get better accuracy from a tuner. The second thing you can do, since breath force is variable, try not to tune single notes using the chromatic tuner. On the draw plate, really, there's only one note you need to pick out of the air, and that's the tonic, the 2 draw. But then, let's say you pick an arbitrary breath force for the 2 draw and try to correlate it with how you play the 3 blow, because it's the same note. Once you get that down, play in unison the 2 draw and 3 draw. That's the third. And look at my series on tuning and using breath dynamics to tune a harmonica. Eliminate beating by playing these 2 notes together. Then you guarantee that you'll have none of that crazy variation you get with breath force, because if you're playing them at the same time, you are by definition playing them with the same breath force. Do the same thing for the fifths, right? You could play tonic, third, and fifth all together and eliminate the beating. This is the flat 7. Unless you want it just tuned, you can get away with tuning it to by eye, because it won't really, if it's not 7 limit, just intonation, your chord's going to sound rough if you include it anyway, no matter where you put it, if you have it close to 0. So don't worry about that too much. The same thing goes for the blow plate, right? Tonic, there's always an octave, and tonic third, and the third has an octave, and the fifth with the tonic, the fifth with its octave, you go all the way up the harp. When you get to some of these higher reeds, the reed shape is probably not perfect, and A not perfect reed shape on a 4 blow, you could still probably manage to hit it with low breath, but as you get higher and higher, it starts to feel like the reeds are stiffer because they don't have the perfect shape. And unless you're going to spend time giving them the perfect shape so that they respond with very light breath, you're going to be hitting them harder and harder than you should be when you get up to the top, especially with the French tuner that isolates the notes and that really gets rid of all air leak. In short, you're going to be tuning them sharp as you get to the top. So my advice to you, do reed work to get these notes to respond well. If you don't want to spend the time doing reed work, that's fine. I would say don't use the French tuner or extended French tuner to look for that high level of accuracy up on the high level, because you're going to be working against yourself. And this is a common question. If you're not getting these reeds to respond super precisely, then don't try to fight with super precise tuning. Okay, you can always use the 5-cent tuner when the harp's assembled and tweak the tuning in whatever direction. You know, if you want to lower the pitch, you can scrape some brass off the bass. Accurate tuning up on the high end goes hand in hand with a very responsive harp. So I hope that covers the most common problems with tuning a harmonica.